And my topic for today, brain-friendly techniques for content mastery and retention, the teaching of Malay proverbs. So here is the outline for today. I'll be sharing 3 parts to my presentation: background of madrasah, Islamic schools, education in Singapore, the lesson overview and reflections, and the third one will be results and findings. Okay, just a brief background of madrasah education in Singapore. There are a total number of 6 madrasas in Singapore serving 3,500 students in total. The students in madrasah aged between 7 to 90 years old, where they have elementary schools and to pre-university. And here are the subjects that they usually take. Our younger students will take an average of 9 subjects, and our secondary students will take 13 to 14 subjects. That is inclusive of academic subjects and religious subjects. Moving on to my to my own school, which is Madrasah Irsyad Zuhriah Islamiyah. My school offers primary level education for the age of 7 to 12 years old. And we have a number of 1,200 number of students, but my case study will be on my primary 5 students, about 34 of them. And at the end of the 6th year education, students will sit for a national examination, primary school leaving examination, PSLE, and also Islamic Studies primary examination, ISP. Okay, Madrasah Irsyad Zuhriah provides a holistic education which includes CCA, and also we have dual curriculum which supports Islamic education and also national education. So the second part of my lesson overview and reflections. Why I choose proverb is because between 2013 to 2016, the performance of madrasah students in Malay language at PSLE level has been higher than the national average in all topics, in all components except for the proverbs. So there was a pilot study conducted at my school to examine how the teaching and learning proverbs can be improved. This pilot study involved 4 other teachers and knowledgeable other from Islamic Religious Council. Although we did not use the lesson study protocol strictly, we engaged in collaborative discussions to review lesson delivery and outcomes. This is a theoretical presentation for my lesson structure, energy level. I will explain to you. Okay, at the start of the lesson, my students were at their regular normal level energy because I think they did not know what to expect from the teacher. So the moment I start my class, I actually used an induction, a trigger activity, which I actually flashed a comic strip. In the comic strip, it actually explains proverbs, but it never states what is the proverb exactly. So they have to actually digest for 1 minute, understand the comic, and then they will get it. The next activity that I did was charade, and I can see that they are trying to get hyper. Okay, and then the next, after the charade planning, actually it took a while, but not too long. I expected them to take about 10 minutes, but they actually were done within 3 to 5 minutes. So the charade took place and they were very hyper, and then a little bit toned down when we had the second activity, which is mix and match proverbs to meanings. There are total number of 12 proverbs and 12 meanings that they have to mix and match. Finally, their energy level picked up when they were assessed using Kahoot application in their iPads. Okay, naturally the kids got excited when they see iPads. Okay, it's their nature now. So they were actually beaming from ear to ear when they see the iPad box came to their classroom. Okay, here's my reflection for my first induction activity. This is a comic strip that I was saying just now. Okay, for this trigger activity, actually this lesson is not to teach new proverbs. It's actually more to revision kind of lesson. So it was a good start, and they managed to guess the proverbs correctly. And they tried to construct sentences, and they were creative most of the time. So the sentences that they made was candid and playful ones. Okay, so but I'm quite pleased with the sentences, although if they were quite playful, because the sentences showed that they actually understood the proverbs and they can apply in their own sentences. So for the second activity, which was charade, they were actually given cards. Like this, and here is the proverb, and this is the meaning. So they can choose to actually act out the proverbs or the meaning, and the rest of the groups have to guess the meaning or the proverbs that they acted out. Okay. During their discussion, I observed the students that they had this tendency to revert to English language during their discussion. Okay, this trait is normal in a Singapore context for Malay language classroom because they were mostly English speaking at home. So when they were in their Malay language classroom, they tend to use English language also. So this had to be corrected consistently. As a facilitator, as a teacher in the class, I have to keep reminding them that this is a Malay language lesson, please use Malay language. For this part, my third activity was actually mix and match. They were given a file. I called up all the group leaders. They were initially divided into groups. So I called the group leaders to the front. I gave them a file of 12 proverbs and 12 meanings. And I told them that they were not allowed to give to their group members until I told them to do so. So they heed the advice, and then when they go back to their seats, when I said start, then they start distributing the strips to their friends at random. So why I did that? Because I want them to be accountable for what they are doing, so that everyone is involved in the discussion, in the game. So some groups engaged in collaborative work very well. However, part of my observation was that there was one girl was not involved by her teammates because she was a little bit shy. Yeah. So the leader took initiative to actually encourage her to get involved in this lesson. Okay. So one of my takeaways is the importance of managing collaborative work more carefully. Perhaps in the future, I will be using lesson study as a tool to use collaborative learning effectively in the classroom context. My last activity was using an application called Kahoot. This is a individual formative assessment that I use to assess my students' understanding of what they have learned. So from this application, they actually have they were given individual iPads, and I have already set the questions. So all they have to do was to look at the screen and guess the answers and just click on the shapes there. So when they got the correct answer, the screen will turn to green color. That shows that they had the correct answer. And when they got the wrong answer, the screen will turn red and give like motivation words, try harder, the world is not end, etc. Okay, so the moment when the screen turned red, my high progress students, they tend to they were shy, they were ashamed, and then they try to cover their iPad screen because they did not want anyone else to see. So my takeaway from this is actually I have to consider purchasing privacy screens to make the students feel safe when they are studying and remain focused, reading the feedback on their iPad screens. In the proverb and see whether the answer is correct or not. However, this technique doesn't work all the time because some words are just too difficult for them to imagine, and they have not reached their fullest potential to imagine all those things. Yes, moving on. So like I have mentioned, students in general use OCV methods to learn Malay proverbs. However, these proverbs doesn't work all the time for other more difficult proverbs. Here's my result for the pre-test and the post-test. Before the lesson was done, we can see that the number of passes was below 48%, below 50%, and the number of failures 51.9%. But after everything was done and then the lessons were carried out, we can see that there was a huge jump from the number of passes. 93% passes and 6.7% failures. This consists of two boys who failed, but they failed not that bad, as in they improved a bit, but they still failed. Right? So the pre and post test result here, before the lesson was conducted, they were here, like B, A, B, C, D, E, and fail, you graded. Okay, after the lesson was conducted, they are among the distinction A, B's, and C's. That is, for my class, that is a huge improvement because, like what Professor Dr. Tan Un Sen said, they must love the teacher first so that they can learn better. So conclusion, I have found that the collection of 3 types of data is very insightful. Each data were valuable in their own ways to help us further improve on our future lesson designs. I end my presentation here. Thank you so much.